Brenda, thank you very much for inviting us to your beautiful apartment. I know you won't mind us mentioning that you're 81 years young, lived in London all your life, and you've moved to Media City. Tell us about the reasons behind that.
I was just tired of living in London, and we came up here 3 years ago on business and went to the Royal Exchange Theatre and came over the bridge and walked along Salford, and I thought, oh, I would just love to live here, but didn't think it would be possible. And then last November 12 month, we sort of looked in an estate agent and saw the prices and thought, I could live here. We came straight down and put our names on estate agents.
And the rest is history.
Right. Put the flat on the market in Barbican in January and moved up here in May.
What is it about this particular area now? Because we were talking earlier, I know you feel very at home here, don't you?
I think it's the water and the whole atmosphere here. It's just lovely.
And you've got the most tremendous view.
I have, yes.
It's beautiful. You can see Media City in all its glory. Yeah. What do you like to look out the window and look at?
It's quite amusing watching people because they just look as though they're from a Lowry painting,
yeah,
particularly the little dogs who are walking along.
Well, we're up here on the 22nd floor, aren't we? So it really is a lovely panoramic view.
Yes. And it's very quiet up here, you don't hear anything at all. I had a friend in on New Year's Eve and we sat here and watched all the fireworks going everywhere, which was wonderful. Couldn't hear a sound till we went out on the balcony, and it was quite noisy. But
talk us through a typical day then for you here at Media City. How do you fill your time? What do you do here?
Well, our office is in Piccadilly Gardens and I go in 2 or 3 times a week. I go to St Anne's Church quite often because actually Graham's parents were married there and he was baptised there. So they've made me very welcome.
And Graham is your business partner, isn't he?
That's right, yes.
Who I know has got an eye for detail and designed this whole flat, the interiors and the colours.
Yes. The company that Graham and I run is called A Life with a View. We started with interior decorating and now we're trying to sell the candles and the glassware.
These beautiful candles
that's
behind
right,
you
yes.
here.
They're made by an Englishman who lives in France. We're doing it for cathedrals and places like that. So for the first time in my life, I go into shops and ask to speak to the buyer, which is, having been a chartered accountant all my life, it's a slightly different way of life. But
you still go back to London and do bits and pieces of work as well, don't you? At St Paul's Cathedral.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That's just, well, I've worshipped there for some 36 years, but now I just take people around on short tours and try and answer questions.
Talk to us a little bit actually about what you've done throughout your life though. So you mentioned there you were a chartered accountant.
To start with, my first job was in the American Embassy for a while, and then I worked for my father who was a paper merchant. He represented paper mills in Norway. And then in 1957 I decided I'd like to move around a bit, so I went to Canada for a year and went from job to job, which was great fun, and then came back here. And when I came back, I went to an agency for a temporary job, and Stanley, who's an old friend of the family, was the first one wanting a temporary, so thank you. So I was a temporary there for 45 years with him.
So you've always been an adventurous girl, and haven't you, off to Canada here, there and everywhere?
Yes.
When you thought about upping sticks and coming to Media City, were there any reservations in your mind?
No.
That would terrify most people.
I know. Well, 1 or 2 of my friends said, at your age you should look at sheltered accommodation. I beg your pardon.
What? Surely not for our Brenda Deane. No way. And these friends in London, have they been to visit you here?
3 have, yes.
And what did they make of it?
They couldn't move up soon enough.
Yeah? Oh, so they all liked it then?
They like it. They, for various reasons they can't, but they would love to, yes.
Did you find that they had some preconceptions about the move, though? For you personally, but also about the area, which is quite unknown, really, isn't it, still?
It is, yes. The sort of attitude that you won't make friends, they don't know me very well, and there's nothing to do. It's ridiculous. It's the theatre. I love the Royal Exchange Theatre.
And what about the Lowry? You said you were at the Lowry last night.
Yes.
So do you have any intention of slowing down at any stage? No? That's what I like to hear, a girl after my own heart. It must have been a huge change for you. You've lived in London for 81 years. That's a fair old time. And you've moved here. What have been the main changes that you would see?
Well, having such a beautiful flat and the view out of the window, which is incredible.
And the furniture you've got here is great as well, all very modern.
Yes.
So when you moved here, you were telling me you got rid of everything.
Everything, yes.
How did that feel?
I just wanted something new. I like a change.
Wanted a new start.
That's right, yes.
And do you feel that you've gotten everything out of this move that you'd hoped for when you wanted that new start?
More than that, yes, much more. And if anybody asked me, I wouldn't hesitate in saying, do move north. It's a much nicer way of life. The people I've met have been so friendly, and even going to booths, they all call me Brenda now when I go in there, and that's so different. What
would you say to people who perhaps don't know much about Media City and might have preconceptions about the north? What would you tell them about your experience here?
Nothing I could complain about at all. I've just loved it. It's just the pace of life is slower. I think that's partly it. It's just so nice being here. People are more courteous up here. They don't push and shove, they stand aside on the pavement, and the trams, well, just everything is nicer. And London now, everybody's either eating or pulling cases through Oxford Street now, because our office in London is in Hanover Square, and going up on the Central Line and fighting my way to the office, that was no fun at all.
Have you found, in terms of the cost of living, how does that compare to being in London?
Very much cheaper. People say booths are expensive, but not compared with London, they're not.
You feel like you're getting a bargain.
Oh, definitely, yes.
And I know you're also a member at Members on the 7th as well, aren't
you?
Mm. Yeah, is that one of your favourite places to go?
It's very nice, yes.
It's very swanky, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And what about in terms of entertainment, other than propping up the bar in on the 7th?
That's right.
Where else might we find Brenda on a night out?
Well, there's so many lovely restaurants. We quite often go to the restaurant, bar and grill in John Dalton Street. Rosso, the restaurant. And Prezzo, look, I go down there a lot, which is very handy. But there's no difficulty in finding somewhere nice to eat here. What
about the group of friends that you've met here? Is it quite an eclectic bunch? Because I think most people would perhaps think that Media City is attracting younger people. Now, I know you're very young at heart, but what would you say as a slightly more mature lady? How do you find it in your friends here?
My friends from St Anne's, most of them are older than me, but one or two slightly younger. Now, I've been here 10 days. It's just typical to me. At the tram stop, and somebody came and sat next to me, and I think 2 Altrincham trams came in, and she said, "Oh, it's always Altrincham." And I said, "Wouldn't really know." But she's a solicitor, and we've become great friends from that. Friendship is very much but 2 ways. If you just sit in a corner and don't speak to anybody, you don't meet anybody, but that's not me.
Wise word.
It's just a quieter, a nicer way of life up here. London has got too big now. It's sad. But, I love parts of London, but not all of it now.
Well, Brenda, thank you very much for your time.
Would you like a coffee or tea or anything?
I wouldn't mind a quick brew with you, yeah. Thank you very much.
Tea for everybody?